2007 Chevy Impala. It has a P0722 output speed sensor code. Output speed sensor is not working on this Impala. So what are we looking at? I got this all taken care of, the airbox going into the computer, and I only do this as a routine because there is some steps that I go through when I start to check for things, and if you take those steps you'll be able to find problems within the steps. One thing I don't like is down there they had that steel thing down there, that clamp holding on or to the wires here. I always check for things like that to see if it's bitten to the wires, because I saw this exposed. But I moved the computer, and when I saw in the computer here, this is the TCM, which is a transmission control module, and this is the PCM or ECM. But when I looked at this, as I'm going to it to check it, I saw some wires that's broken in here. Okay, so there's a wire there. There's some stuff frayed right there, and there's some other wires that's no good. So I'm going to be repairing a bunch of these wires, and I'm guaranteeing a whole bunch of stuff that wasn't working is going to be working. Now this transmission was put in by another shop. They put a wire harness in. I saw where they put a resistor inside of a what was it, inside of a connector, I guess, to bypass something that was supposed to be working on it. So, you know, but then they brought it here because it didn't shift. A lot of times I don't like to go behind shops that do stuff like this, but I'm doing it. And when I repair these wires, now this purple one, I guarantee, since this is the TCM, that's going to be, there's some other stuff down there. It's going to be the output speed sensor circuit wires. So there's a lot of wires no good, so I'm gonna have to repair a lot of those, and then we'll see if this will be fine. Now what's happening, the speedometer is not working, it's not shifting. So let me repair this and then we see. So I guess if you have an issue like this, make sure you go through your checks and see if there's some wires that has been chewed up like this. It could have been a mouse that went in here, or it could have been when they put this wire in the wire harness in here, they could have scraped it and messed it up. I don't know, but we're gonna fix this. Okay, I can see right here, this is twisted wire right here. This is going to be the output input speed sensor wire, but I see something here that's not good here, and when I look down here I see some wires that are corroded also, so I will fix those too. Might as well. When I see wires and they're right next to the ones I need to fix, if they're bad, I'll fix those also. So this is going to cause the issue, or excuse me, solve the issue, and probably solve a lot of other issues that this vehicle have. Let me get to this. I like to find stuff like this, but I'm also going to do something with that down there. I'm going to repair that because I don't like that it would look like it was touching those wires. That part there can cut into that, so I'm going to handle that too. Alright, so let's get this done. Okay, there's about 5 wires here that I repaired. I soldered most of them. This one I used the butt connector that has a glue on it. I prefer soldering because soldering makes sure you have a good connector. I've had a connector that had wire that was as thin as hair, and you squish it, and when you squeeze it, you know, that connector, I still had a loose connection even though it was squished pretty good. It needs to be kind of thick wire for this to work, but that thin wire, there's lots of them, it's not very good. Better to solder. But these I soldered, and the mechanic that had this car that put this motor in with these wires said to change the filter. That was the only thing wrong with this vehicle. He said he checked it out, just changed the filter because that caused it not to shift. Okay, you know, that's why you can't listen to people. Okay, now the next thing, I look down here and I see on the computer, where is that? There's another wire that's messed up right here. Now I don't have to fix this at all, but might as well, huh? I don't have to fix it. Look at that. That's no good. But since I'm down here, I'm going to fix that too. Let me see, repair that wire. Might as well do it. So what you do when you are going through the routine checks, then make sure that you just go through the basics, and in doing the basics you will start to find things. Okay, now if I look over here, I see where they tied that one up with a tie strap over there. And he tied the wire right here by the mount. Now that's going to move back and forth. Now it's probably going to try to rub up against those wires, but that's where the mechanic tied it. Okay, you gotta look for stuff like that. Alright, that's it for this Impala. This thing should shift fine now. I know the speedometer is going to work. After I put all this stuff back together, this car will be ready to go.